Hello everyone, welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2014. That's right, we're back, doing more videos, fixing some more cars, talking about more cars. All around, just a positive experience. It always is, it always has been, and it always will be. Alright, let's check it out and see what we got going on here. Let's see if I can remember the buttons. That's not it. Right click, that's what it is. Alright, what's the RO we're working on? This car drives my crazy. Okay. I've already replaced all spark plugs, and now that. Guess what? Water pump started to leak, and this liquid could have damaged one of the belts. Check it and repair, please. Well, alright. We can do that. Alright, so we're looking at the water pump. Water pump. And the belts. So, that's not what I want. That's right. Left click. It's been a while since I played, so I'm having to relearn how to play. Let's get over here on the side. I think we can examine the belts. Let's see. Can we? Well, that belt's... How about the timing belt? Timing belt's 85. Alright, the belts are good. Let's go ahead and take those off. Let's see, which one's the... This is the water pump. Alright, so let's take the timing belt off. Oh, I gotta take the pulley off. Or tensioner. That's the timing belt tensioner. Excuse me, which must be removed before we can... I wonder if we can check the condition now. Let's see. 3%. Alright, so that water pump is done. Let's go ahead and remove the water pump. No, I want to remove. Let's take these 3 bolts out. We'll take this water pump out and replace it. Alright, so let's see. What's some new things going on? I've gotten pretty settled in at my new shop. I'm a Mini technician. Mini as in the BMW remake of the British phenomenon, the Austin Mini or the Morris Mini. It came under several badges for some reason, but Mini, nonetheless, being the name, Mini Cooper. That's who I work for now. Let's get a water pump out of here. It's gonna be down at the bottom. Yeah, I've gotten pretty 300. I don't remember how much they were paying us, but we'll go with that. Yeah, I've gotten pretty settled in at Mini. A few things here and there with the cars, but just one of those, once you learn it type things. Assemble. Water pump assemble. Yep, so BMW, the new Mini, completely brand new, redesigned, everything, very BMW now. Normally there was a big difference in parts and things from the Mini to the BMW side. Some of the parts would match up and, you know, everything said BMW, but it was pretty much just designed for the Mini. However, now, it's not so much. So, alright, let's check this RO and see if we fixed it. But the new one is very much a BMW. It's a BMW designed motor. Alright, check. So, we're done with this? Yep. On to the next one. Yeah, so BMW designs the motor in-house for the new Mini. So far, they've only come out with a Mini Cooper hardtop. It's called the F56. The original was the R50 and the R53. Then there was the R56, and now there's the F56. I assume they'll come out with more like the Clubman and things like that. Test car on the Whoa, hang on. What happened to our shop? Test the car on the I heard I can have my car tested on your diagnostic path. Want to be sure everything is okay before I go on my summer trip. Oh, that's a usual thing. Whoa! I got 3 lifts. Ooh, black hood. So I'm working on a race car here. Whoa. Car lift. Oh, what's in here? Is that just a car wash? Can I go in? Path test. Check car. What? Well, that's what they want us to do with this, so... Yeah, sure. What? Move front wheels onto brake tester? Oh! Press and hold the brake. What? Move back wheels onto brake tester. Press and hold brake. Wow! Front wheels onto suspension test. Do we not have to test drive anymore? Whoa! Well, this is... Wow. I must say, this is pretty cool. This is awesome. So is it... Oh. Okay. I was about to say, did we crash there, or we're just loading? Alright, I guess everything was good. Is it? Yeah, let's go to the next one. That is pretty cool. Look at that, guys. New shop. We have 3 lifts, even though we can only work on 1 car at a time for some reason. Check the engine and find a solution. Engine won't start. I need it tomorrow morning. Vulcan family. Live long and prosper. Yeah, you get that a lot. You get people who say, "Oh, you know, my car's completely destroyed. Won't run, won't move, won't do anything. It won't start, won't do anything, but I need it fixed in about 10 minutes. So, you know, if you could get a hurry on." Like, whatever. People think it just like magically fixes. Alright, first let's check the battery. Battery's at 95%, that's good. Next, we will check the starter. Now, we can't check the starter without removing it, so we're going to take it out. Car will not start. This is where I'd want to have a little more information to find out if it won't start, it won't crank, it won't click, do anything, because if you're trying to start your car and you just hear a clicking like usually that's the battery has drained itself and you're low on energy or power or whatever you want to call it. Your battery's low basically, and that's trying to get enough voltage to the starter to make it turn the flywheel, which allows the motor to start. But if the battery is dead or low on voltage and amperage, it won't do that, so you'll hear this clicking, and that's just the starter bouncing against the flywheel, the flywheel, but with not enough power. Let's see, where's that? Their starter's 92%, so that's not the problem. Let's go ahead and put that back in then. You can have the car crank, which is where you'll hear the motor turning over with the flywheel, you know, like trying to start. but it's not starting. And then start is just, so if you have a no crank issue, that means it won't even try to turn the motor. It just, that's usually battery related. A lot of times your battery's low or dead. There could be a bad cell in the battery, which doesn't allow it to have enough amperage or voltage to start the car. If you have a crank but no start, that means the engine's turning over, trying to get the motor to start, but something's not letting it. And that's usually, you would go to one of three things: spark, fuel, or compression. Those are the three things required to start an engine: spark, fuel, and compression. You check spark plugs, spark plug wires, distributors, coil packs if it's coil equipped, coil on plug design. Fuel, you'll check the fuel pump delivery, make sure it's sending fuel to the motor, check the fuel rail, the injectors, make sure you're getting fuel inside the combustion chamber. And thirdly, you would check compression, because the piston going up and down is what compresses the air, and once the spark occurs, that's what allows the combustion. So those would be the three things you would check at that point. And then, if it starts, you're fine. So, alright. I should have been doing this while I was saying that. I'm not very good at multitasking. Whew, alright. Whoop. A little sip of my recording juice. Alright, so, this is one of those situations where I'd like to know what it does, because that would... Okay, let's just see. My car's engine won't start. Okay, so it won't start. If that terminology is correct, then that's, what we want to do. We want to check the plug wires, which we can't do. Nope, disassemble. There we go. Let's take this plug out. Now let's go here, and those were the plugs from before. Their plug is good. Their ignition wires are good. Let's just get rid of some of this excess junk. Make a little money back. This will help us to make sure we're diagnosing the correct parts. Okay. Yeah, their spark plugs appear to be good. Let's just take them all out and check them all, just to be safe. This is where... Oh, I know what I should do. I forget about the... firstly... Okay, see? This is... We pulled 4 spark plugs. 2 of them are at 2% and 3%. Which means that if the motor would have started, which with two cylinders down in a 4-cylinder engine, chances are it's kind of 50-50. If it started, it wouldn't have ran for very long before it just died out. I was about to say, let's go inside and check, and this will probably say, if I do the... Oh, close car door. Let's get in. Let's do an OBD2 check and just see. If it's correct, this would say there's a misfire on 2 cylinders. Okay. How do I view that? Oh, I guess doing that shows. Okay. Okay, when I do an OBD2 check, that gives me the... what is it? The condition of the parts that it checks. So it would check the alternator, ignition module, mass airflow sensor, battery. So that's good, that's good. So we know that we've got 2 bad cylinders due to spark plugs. So let's go grab a couple... Oh, I don't know where my computer's at. It's it over here on the wall. I'm just looking around a little bit. Oh, there's the radio. Oh, we got multiple music options. All right. Oh, this is cool. Wish I had one of these. We just have, at work, we just have a laptop on a teeny little shelf. Oh, what is this? A bay door? So, oh, we can still test drive. Okay. Well, let's get on the computer here. Let's get a couple more spark plugs for this customer. And see if that helps. There we go. Yes, I would like one, and yes, I would like two. Oop, not that far back. Alright, let's get back and put it back in their car. Let's get rid of that. Oh, not examine, I want to show. There we go. Now I'm in installation mode. 100%. Grab it. There we go. Yeah, so things have been pretty busy with the new Mini coming in, the F56. There was I don't want to say a recall, more a service action that came out. They had problems with a batch of the... Alright, let's see if this fixed it. They had problems with a batch of the oil filter housings. There was I guess a bad batch of seals that they were worried might leak oil or coolant, because both of those run through the oil filter housing. They were worried that those might have leaked fluid, which it would have just more than likely just leaked it onto the ground. But as it is a brand new vehicle and they want to, stop any problems that might occur before we delivered or gave vehicles out to customers, we corrected the issue. And it was only a small batch. It wasn't a widespread thing. We had a few of the vehicles that were affected. It was they send out a list that has the VIN numbers of all the affected vehicles, and then we correct those. So I did one. A few other people in the shop have done one or two. So, but that's fixed. So there's no worries with that if it should come in. But just one of those things that, as you're producing a vehicle, you may have one bad batch if you produce so many. So things like that happen. Alright, we were checking to see. Alright, so their vehicle starts now. Sweet. Get some more recording juice here. Well, that sucks for you. I drove my car over a massive pothole and broke the left side suspension. Can you repair it? Yes. This is a very common... This is a Mustang. Not, but very obviously is. But that's pretty cool. Alright, so we're going to look at the suspension. So firstly, we want to put it in the air. Actually, you know what? Let's go in here. Let's do the diagnostic path. Since it's suspension related, this will tell us exactly what we need to see, and this will let us know if the brakes were affected. A lot of times customers run over potholes, and the main occurrence that happens, if it's not as bad, like if they just hit it and think it's okay because it hasn't affected their suspension, like causing a pull or a drift while they're driving, most of the time what can happen is they will hit the pothole, keep driving, no big deal. They come in for the next service. Excuse me. They come in for their next service, and then as we're checking our normal inspections... Oh, that was the brake test, okay. As they come in for their normal service... Ooh, bumpy ride. Alright, so their front left suspension is affected. Is it going to be the rear? No, so front left, that's where we're at. A big difference between the two of those, so like 40-something%. Now that should give us a good indication of what we're working with here when we put it in the air. So we're going to put it in the air, check underneath. Most of the time what happens is people hit potholes and they come in for their service, and the most obvious thing is if you hit a tire on a curb, sometimes you can hit it hard enough to where it damages the sidewall. Now this isn't easily seen from the outside, but a lot of times it will manifest itself in a bubble on the sidewall, and usually it's near a dent or a scuff or scratch or something on the rim itself where they hit the curb or the pothole, and that can cause a bubble. The next thing you have to check for is to make sure the rim was not bent, because if the rim is bent, it can cause small bumpiness. The wheel will be out of balance, which means the steering and things are slightly compromised. It's not a huge concern like a safety concern, except that it sort of is. I wouldn't recommend driving like that. I would get the rim and wheel replaced as soon as possible. The bubble is dangerous. Yeah, we can see here it's already worn. If we do this, it should show us the parts that were affected. Alright, so they did a lot of damage here. The lower control arm, or A-arm as it's known because of its shape that looks like an A, is damaged. Their outer tie rod and the inner tie rod and their shock absorber. Now this is fun. We haven't done a shock absorber yet, so this will be fun. Alright. I think we can get it done real quick. This is a pretty labor-intensive job here. Alright, let's leave this on, that'll make it a little easier for us. So we're gonna go to remove and install. What does this want us to remove first? We would remove... Technically, we would remove that bolt, this bolt. Can we? Oh, we can't. Okay. I see what the game wants. Alright, you win. We'll play your game. Since it technically is the game's game. Yes, wheel, please, remove. We have to get this from the side, which isn't the optimal place to get it from. Most of the time you would place this in the air. I used to work at a Ford dealership, so I'm pretty familiar with the Mustang. Newer and older. I do like the new Mustangs. I think a nice beefy EcoBoost model would be great. A lot of people might not think so, just based on... I probably didn't need to take all that off. Force of habit. Alright, we're in the inner tie rod. Alright, so we're going to have to take the sway bar end link out as it attaches itself to the shock absorber. Now we're going to take these bolts out and remove that assembly. Now the spring will stay in place. Technically, when you remove a strut assembly and replace it, you would remove the top and the spring comes out, and then you put the spring on. You put the spring that was on the car on the new shock absorber, unless they buy new springs. But don't really need to. These springs are in good condition. You see they're 87%. I don't know how they want this to come off. They don't want us to go from the hood, do they? No? Maybe that has to go from underneath. Alright, I've viewed its condition. I would like to remove it now. I'm slightly confused. Oh, okay. So we have to take that out. Then we can remove. Okay. We had to take the lower control arm bushing out to remove that. Okay. Now let's head over to the computer and start buying some new parts. Doop doop. We'll fix this one real quick and then call that an end for this. Alright, so we need... Just kind of going in as I see it. Unless I've passed some things already. We do need an inner tie rod. We need an outer tie rod. Front left. Front right. Front left. Here we go. Shot goes over A. Pretty sure that's the right one. Ooh. Yeah. Sure. Boy, I hope that was the right one. I just bought it. Okay, we bought that. We need the suspension arm. Sway bar and link was good. I think that was it. Let's go back in and see. Let's go to assembly mode. Okay. Bolt this sucker back in. Minis are really fun to work on, just because... Oh, they need a new bushing. Darn it. Wrong way. Minis are fun to work on because to pretty much do anything in the front end or around the engine, either the front end has to step out, which is, there's a way that we can extend the front end of the vehicle. Let's look for this bushing real quick. There it is. The front end will step itself out. Well, we step it out. Which gives you more room at the front of the car. You can lift the motor out of the car slightly to get to some other hard-to-reach things like motor mounts and things of that nature. That's it for underneath the car. Put this baby on the ground. Yes, thank you. Woo. Alright. Inner tie rod, we got that right. Outer tie rod, we got that right. If you do anything like removing the... Oh no, no. Remove. I got the wrong one. Darn it. So it was B. Well, there was a lot of money spent poorly. This is why you always check parts before you purchase or install. See, we're looking for the B front left. Yeah, mistakes happen. I make them. Everyone makes them. Let's go to reassembly mode. Install C. Okay, that was just... So it goes A, B, B, C. Come on. Alright, you got me, game. Caught me slacking. Well, I paid for that mistake. Which, unfortunately, is how it is in the real shop. If you make a mistake, someone pays for it. If it's not you, it's the dealership or the shop you work for. That's why we try to minimalize mistakes. Minimize, not minimalize. That's actually a mini slogan, is minimalize. Yes, I know plenty of useless facts now. I don't know if I'd say that's useless, but let's see if we can't sneak this one around the back. I hate this part. Sorry, my nose was itching. Caliper back on. We'll see, it's pretty red caliper. Oh, they broke the wheel too. Vulcan Spectre. Alright. Vulcan Spectre wheel, that's what we need. Is that gonna be... okay. CO, so let's go down to V. Vulcan Spectre. Yes. That is an expensive wheel. I hope they paid well for this RO. How much are they giving us? 3,000. We way went over that, but a lot of that was just, you know, just mistakes were made. I love chrome, especially like a factory chrome. All right, let's back out of here and get these people their vehicle back. That should be it. Yep. Alright, so I guess we'll take a look at the next RO, and then that's where we'll start next episode. We'll run this one slightly longer than I wanted to, only by a couple minutes. That's alright, though. It's me. It's me again. I've got more cash. I need new brakes because I have almost crashed about 4 times. Spectacular! Alright, guys, well, that's it. We're going to call it there. Make sure, leave any feedback in the comments below. If there's anything specific you want to see, if there's anything specific you'd like me to talk about. I know a lot of people don't really know a lot about how the automotive repair life, that automotive repair life, how that world works. There's a lot of negativity about the world of fixing cars. Mostly because so many independent shops come up and just do some shady things to quote-unquote repair your car. And you get it home and there's zip ties everywhere and duct tape holding things together. And not all shops are like that, but there are a lot out there. And all it takes is for one person to get burned one time. And that's just a negative rap about the whole industry. So... I always try to do things by the book. If I make a mistake, I pay up for it. I, alert the customer. If there's something they need, a lot of times I and the dealerships I've worked for will help customers out. That's one of the things I look for when I start working at a place is, the integrity level. If there's a mistake, are we going to be responsible for it, or are we going to make the customer pay for our mistake? And I can say... most of the dealerships I've worked, I have had one bad dealership, but most of the dealerships I've worked for have been pretty high integrity. I work now for a family of dealerships, and I've worked in 2 of those dealers now, 2 or 3 of the manufacturers. So, and everything's just done pretty well. There's no shade tree mechanic stuff. There's no, a little of this will fix it for now, and then they can come back later and it'll be on them. There's not any of that, but if you have questions or concerns, or if you just have anything you'd like me to talk about, I work for Mini. I have worked for Volkswagen. I've worked for Ford. So if you have questions about any of that, just let me know. So yeah, we're gonna call it here. I went a couple more minutes longer than I originally intended, just to say that, but I think it's good that people know. Just take the time and talk to your mechanic if they're working on your car. Just, find out specifics about what they're doing, and just, always ask for paperwork. And if it's a good dealership, they'll have paperwork for what they're doing to your vehicle. So always stay on top of it. Don't just take people's word for anything. So always ask, always be questionative. It's not offensive to ask questions. So, keep on keep on top of it. Don't keep a turk. I'll learn how to talk one of these days. Yeah, so we're gonna call it there. So I am going to go do an MBA, so be sure to check that series out. Like, subscribe, do all of that stuff, and I'll catch you next time.